Roughly 20 some odd years ago, I was invited to join the hospital board here for St. Thomas Rutherford. And one of the things that always caught my attention about St. Thomas, we don't really call Ascension Saint Thomas a hospital, we usually refer to it as a ministry. When we moved here, it was both of our passions to make Murfreesboro home and to be involved in the community in various aspects.
Since moving here, I have volunteered in several capacities over the years. That's always been important to me. I feel like Lee and I and our family have been so blessed in so many ways. So we want to give back to various causes that have affected us.
I think this is a great time for us to be recognizing Susan and Lee with the Philanthropist of the Year award. They have been so generous to this community through their time and talents, where we have been able to name our neonatal intensive care unit the Lee and Susan Moss Family NICU.
Laura was born 2.5 months early and weighed a whopping 2.5 pounds at birth. And I remember when they invited me to go look at her, through the glass in the nursery, and there's no question God had us where we needed to be at that moment, and for her to not only survive but thrive in that NICU. And I'd never been around the NICU before and seen babies that tiny. So it's an experience that is deeply wedded in my mind, will always be there, and just glad that we've been blessed to share some of those blessings right here at the NICU in Rutherford County.
We saw that in our experience. There's so many families whose infants are born much more premature than our daughter was, and there's great need. And our neonatologists and NICU nurses, it's not just a job for them, it is a true calling. And I know it is true here at St. Thomas Rutherford.
I was born 10 weeks early, and I was in the NICU for 6 weeks, but thankfully, I've flourished in life and I've done really great, and seeing the impact that those nurses had obviously made my parents want to help Rutherford County. I think they saw a need for something bigger and better that could benefit the families so they could have the same experience my parents had with me.
Susan Moss has been in our choir, I think, since they came to our church 30 plus years ago, and she's just been a vital part of that ministry in our church. It's always a gift to see her sitting in the choir. We have seen through our church family, folks have their babies nurtured and cared for in Lee and Susan's wing. To walk in there to see a church family and to know that Lee and Susan sit 3 rows in front of them in church every Sunday, and now their baby's being cared for in this hospital in the Moss NICU wing. It's an incredible thing to think about.
It's unmistakable. I mean, look at St. Thomas. I mean, it's a prime example. Lee's service on the board, Susan's volunteer organizations that touch St. Thomas. Just from their time and financial giving, they've made a huge difference in the very building that we sit in today.
I think they're both deserving of the award because of all that they have done within the community, the lives that they have touched, many of whom they don't know and won't know, but who've been touched by what they've done.
Susan and Lee were friends almost immediately when we moved to Murfreesboro in 1998. We realized we share UT and boating. In fact, Lee has gotten us into houseboating. They are the fun, happy, hardworking couple who live by faith, and they live walking together. Lee and Susan deserve this award because they just serve in small ways and in large ways. They are living a life of giving. They give to their family, they give to their community, they give to their church. One of the parts of Lee and Susan's giving that I value so much is that it's a common front. They have a strong marriage. They stand together. They stand side by side in whatever they're supporting.
They have been giving of their time since before I was born, and they have always had that mindset to give back to the community and to give back to others. I will say their marriage is amazing, and the way that they love each other. They're just such a wonderful example of love and faith, and I'm so thankful that I have had them to be that example for me and to love me.
Hey, Dad and Mom, I love you guys. You're the most amazing parents in the world, and I couldn't ever ask for anything better. I'm just proud to be part of what you are and hope that one day I can live up to it.
So the way that I've always grown up is he's always been a very wise figure in my life. He's really shaped my mind as I've grown. And my grandma, she's very sweet and lovely. Her cooking is amazing, and she's so sweet. She's just so beautiful.
They're generous and they like taking care of other people.
Matthew says to let your light shine so that all your good deeds may be shown. We just want you to know, Lee and Susan, we see them.
You are two of the most kind, warm-hearted, loving, compassionate, approachable people I have ever known. I am very blessed to know you and to have you in my life, and the community is blessed for you to have made your wonderful, gracious contribution to the Ascension Saint Thomas Hospital in Rutherford County, and I pass the torch to you.
They have had an impact on myself personally, but also this great community that we live in, Rutherford County.
I love you and I'm proud of you.
I love you, and I'm so glad that you're able to get this. I'm glad that you're my grandfather.
Congratulations, Susan and Lee. We love you.